Let's take a look at the following situation. Peter is running on a windy day. Running with the wind, he travels 10 miles per hour. Running with the wind in his face, he travels 8 miles per hour. If he runs equally hard regardless of wind direction, we want to calculate in miles per hour, A, the wind speed, and B, the speed Peter would run on a calm day. All right, we can actually use a system of linear equations to solve this situation, and we're going to use elimination to solve the system. So let's go ahead and label a few variables. We're going to let x equal Peter's running speed. Peter's speed. All right, so that's our variable x we're defining as Peter's running speed. We're going to define the variable y as the wind speed. And if you notice, these are the two things that we do want to find out. We want to find the speed of the wind and the speed that he actually runs regardless of wind. So if there was no wind, we want to know the true speed that Peter's running, and that's going to be x. So let's go ahead and write a couple of equations to define the situation. So when running with the wind at his back, Peter's speed is going to be boosted to a total speed. So his total speed is going to be x plus y equals 10. We know that Peter's running speed combined with the speed of the wind, which is x plus y, is going to be 10 miles an hour. That's when he's running with the wind at his back. All right, so that's our first equation. Our second equation is going to be running against the wind. And when this is done, his speed is going to be hindered. So his total speed is going to be x minus y equals 8. So his Peter's running speed minus the speed of the wind, so x minus y, is going to be 8 miles per hour. All right, this is our system of equations that we want to solve. So let's go ahead and use elimination. Let's go ahead and add these two equations because we have one variable that has a coefficient where the coefficients are opposites. We have a plus y and a minus y. So we can go ahead and add these two equations to solve for one of our variables. So we have x plus y equals 10. We're going to add the second equation to it, x minus y equals 8. These two variables, these two terms will cancel. So we have x and x is 2x equals 10 plus 8 is 18. We can divide both sides by 2. These two terms will cancel, which gives us x equals 18 over 2 is 9. So we have one of our variables solved for, and that's actually one of the questions we're asked. We want to know, this is B that's being answered. The speed Peter would run on a calm day, in other words, his true speed, and that's x. That's Peter's running speed, 9 miles per hour. So 9 miles per hour is B. All right, let's go ahead and solve for the other variable, for the wind speed, and we can just simply substitute x in for either equation. Since we're adding, we're subtracting here, we're adding here, so let's go ahead and use the first equation. So we have x is 9 plus y equals 10. We're just substituting in our value for x into one of our equations. It doesn't matter which one. And we can go ahead and subtract both sides by 9, which those two terms will cancel. That'll give us y equals 10 minus 9, which is 1. This is the answer to A. The wind speed is 1 mile per hour. Not a whole lot of wind, but again, it's not hindering his speed very much. It goes from 10 miles an hour when he has the wind at his back to 8 miles an hour when he has a wind speed of 1 mile an hour in his face. So he's running against the wind there. All right, so this was actually a very simple application because the equations that we wrote were pretty simple. But again, we want to understand how we got from this information, this word problem, and we extracted the important information into two equations. That's the most important part. The most sometimes can be tedious, but we want to get a lot of practice and get very familiar with doing that. And actually, in this section, all we're doing is simply going from this equation and finding the values of the two variables. That's what we're practicing right now. But at the same time, we're practicing extracting information out of a word problem and writing two equations. So let's make sure we're answering the questions being asked. And it helps if we define our variables in terms of each question. So we actually, once we find the values of the variables, we actually found the answers. So we'll do some more. We'll do some more practice using elimination to solve systems of equations. In the next section, we'll actually be using subtraction instead of addition. That's where we'll be subtracting one equation from the other to actually solve the system. So I'll see you in the next video.